everyone, it's Marla. Welcome back to Twinstrology. We are going to do the Twin Flame collective reading for April today. So before I forget, and before I get into the video, I do want to announce right off the bat the winner of the Intuit Oracle from last month. And the winner is Rundi Luff. RUNDILUFF. So please send me an email at twinstrology@yahoo so that I can get your address and I can send the deck to you. Thank you so much, everybody, for playing. It was really fun, and I hope that I can, do more giveaways in the future. There's another thing that I want to just address really quick too. And someone had posted a comment on my last video saying it's really weird that you read cards for the feminine because I know what I'm feeling. And so I thought, this might be a question that a lot of you have, especially those of you that are new to my channel, because while this used to be a very common way of reading, nowadays you very rarely see this. So I want to just address that real quick for those of you who might be wondering, why do I do that? And so the first thing that I would say is that we have to remember that I'm reading specifically for twin flames, and there's going to be twins watching that resonate as the divine feminine, and those that resonate as the divine masculine. And it's only fair that those that resonate as the divine masculine also get to hear messages from their beloved and to find out what's going on with their person, because they might be in separation and they might not know. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that we are all masculine and feminine inside. I know you guys hear me say this all the time. And so when I'm reading cards, what I'm trying to do is not just help you know about your person, but I'm trying to help you understand what might be going on inside of you. And in fact, as a twin, we always need to look at how the masculine and feminine are playing out within us, because that's how we kind of learn how to navigate the journey. So that gives us a better sense of balance. It's a balanced perspective. The other thing is, there are many issues for the divine feminine that are subconscious. So while we may think we know what's going on within us, that's not always true. And, my primary work that I do with people, and I work primarily with divine feminines, is helping them see the things that are subconscious for them, that they're not seeing about themselves. It's hard very often to see what you're projecting and how you're reflecting and mirroring your twin and vice versa. And that is something that I feel I have a very strong gift in, if you will. And I can see that very clearly. And sometimes that probably annoys people. Sometimes it annoys myself because I also see that very clearly in myself. And so in that way, it's like you can't get away with anything because you always have to see like, oh, there's something about that that's my issue. I also want to say too that probably the majority of people watching are divine feminine. That's true. Of course, to a large extent, you will know what's going on with you. But I think what a lot of feminines get from my readings, when I'm actually reading about the feminine, is it helps them see that, oh my God, it's not just me going through this. This is a collective energy. And it feels like you're a lot less alone. Sorry, there was something that I was going to say. And of course, it slipped my mind before I could get it out of my mouth. Because I was trying to finish that one thought. Oh, I know. I was also going to say, I'm also predicting the future here, right? It is, it's actually March, is it the 31st? It's March 31st today. So this is energy for April that hasn't happened yet. So that's another thing that we might want to know, like what is coming up for us that we might not know about yet. And then the last thing that I want to mention is that, you know, a lot of readers now do like these pick a card readings. And the pick a card is, what does this person feel about you? Or where is this person at? And I've done those readings myself. Okay, but what I find can happen with those readings is they can come across as very much like blaming the other person, or when it's becomes very one-sided. When you're looking at, you know, what this person who you're in separation from, in most cases, is thinking, then it ends up where it can be the other person pointing the finger at their counterpart and saying, oh, look, it's all them. They're wrong. They're to blame for this. And, you know, that might not be the intention, of course, behind the readings, but that is the energy that can get triggered. Or it's like, sometimes I will tune into videos like that and I'll read through the comments to see what people are saying, and you'll often get people that are like, it's like they want the other person to be suffering and they're hoping that the reader is going to tell them how the other person is suffering. And again, everything is a projection of ourself, and so we have to be careful with that energy because, yeah, it becomes very imbalanced, one-sided. And not in every case, of course. I'm speaking very general, but I'm sure that you've all have seen readings that can come down to this, you know, they did wrong, they did you wrong, you shouldn't take this person back. And that might be okay for some people that are on a different journey. But if you're an actual true twin flame, you've got to watch out for that. Because what that is doing energetically is oftentimes having the person watching put up a wall. Because again, it's one-sided and it goes to blaming and it triggers the feeling like what that person did to hurt you. And yeah, you can energetically get defensive, get angry, put up the wall, and then that ultimately blocks your union. So that's why I read for both sides, so that it doesn't become one-sided. We see the balance, because every relationship ultimately does have some kind of balance. When especially when we're on the spiritual path, we have to begin to recognize these things. Okay, so let's get into the reading. So I do want to mention quick the astrology. We have a full moon in Libra on April 6th. We are going to have our first eclipse, which is on April 20th, and that's going to be a new moon solar eclipse in Aries. This is the second new moon in Aries, which is amazing, and I'm working on doing a video about that. And then the day after the eclipse is Mercury retrograde on April 21st, and Mercury's going to be retrograde in Taurus. I wanted to point out Mercury retrograde because I think it's going to relate to the cards in a lot of ways. And I've been feeling like this Mercury retrograde is going to be really important for twins. So the overall energy from the oracle, the question oracle is, what subconscious fear is affecting my behavior or actions right now? So the universe is saying there's something subconscious that we need to learn more about. So let's see what that is. I watch you on social media and the internet. It's my way of staying close to you and finding out more about you. Okay, so this is a card of communication. Again, I just mentioned Mercury retrograde and how communication is going to be important. There really needs to be this breakthrough in communication. And I feel like there might be something about that that's being triggered in April. And so for a lot of you, you might actually be like lurking, lurking on the internet, watching your counterpart, or they are watching you, or you're thinking about messaging. I mean, one of the ways I read this card is like what I see sometimes when I'm doing readings is like the person picks up their phone and they start to message and then they erase it and they put the phone down, you know, and they wait a few minutes and they go back and they pick the phone up again and they're thinking about messaging and then they're not sure what to do. Maybe they put it down again. So it's this kind of energy of, I want to talk, but I'm not sure. So I'm kind of lurking. I'm contemplating, but I'm not sure what to do. So this communication issue is definitely going to be a focus in April and into May, because Mercury retrograde will be going into May, and we have a second eclipse in May as well. Now this is clarified with, give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. So I feel like Spirit is saying, you've got to take the chance. You've got to work on your relationship right now. Stop avoiding. Stop lurking. Take a chance. Give your relationship a chance. If you don't try, you're never going to know. So there might be some kind of risk that you're being asked to take in April. So for some of you, it might be reaching out. For others of you, it might be like, how are you responding? I'm getting to, like, you have to watch your energy. Are you energetically open or are you energetically closed? This is very important going into the rest of the year. You know, where your thoughts are, where your energy is, what you're thinking. So if you receive a message, how are you going to respond to it? That type of thing. So the song oracles, I already pulled the songs for today. The song for the overall energy of union is Don't Go Away by Oasis. Damn my situation and the games I have to play with all the things in my mind. Damn my education, I can't find the words to say with all the things caught in my mind. So don't go away. Say what you say. Say that you'll stay forever and a day. In the time of my life, because I need more time. Yes, I need more time just to make things right. So a few different things here, right? I'm going to say the first and most important thing about the song is don't go away, right? There's a message here from one counterpart to the other. I don't want you to go away. And I would like to give this relationship a chance because I'm worried that you are going to go away. Now at the beginning here, he's singing about not being able to be clear. I can't find the words to say with all the things caught in my mind. And damn this situation and the games I'm playing because of the things in my mind. It's like, for one thing, it's like our mental worries, our fears are taking over and interfering with our heart. And so it's like you want to give a chance here, but there's a fear. And there's a fear that if you take the risk that it could go badly. I also feel like there's this desire to make things right. And I need time. I need time from you in order to make things right. I will try to link the songs below. Sometimes I forget, but sometimes it's important to listen to the songs and you'll get additional meanings for yourself through the song. So what is positive for twin flames in April? I feel the sexual energy between us, yet it's beyond physical attraction. It needs to be elevated to the expression of deep, unconditional love. Okay, so there's a lot of energy, a lot of magnetism here, a lot of passion. And I think the passion is really what I'm picking up on about this card. Because there's an element here in the energy of holding back. And it's like our masculine side. And when I say masculine, I mean all of us on some level inside of us, our masculine has been holding back. And the masculine is going through and has gone through a major healing and clearing. And what I'm getting about the upcoming energies this month is it's like a reset. It's a masculine energy reset for us. And so the masculine is like, I don't want to hold back anymore. I want to live a life that's full of passion. And the romance angel card is you deserve love. You are lovable. So you're worthy. You're worthy of this type of love. This is like such a strong connection, passionate, romantic, and all of you deserve that. But what's coming up is that energetically there's a fear or a block to really believing that we deserve that. What challenges unions this month is my inner child was wounded when my parents couldn't respond to me in the way I needed them to. I'm reacting from that wound. So the challenge is healing the inner child, healing this part of us that doesn't feel loved. And kind of what I'm getting around this card, again, this won't be for everybody, but sometimes we can fall into the trap of using sex to replace love. And that's not what the inner child needs. That's not what the union is calling for us to do. It's calling for us to heal. So what we can take away from this, from these cards here, is we want to connect. We want to communicate, but we're feeling unworthy. We feel like we might be rejected. And yet, there, at the same time, there's this part of us that just really wants to take a chance because there's such a strong attraction and the desire is getting very strong to overcome the fear. And that's what happens with twins. Like when we're afraid, like our twin is there to help us. They become the inspiration to overcome the fear. So the romance angels are saying release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. So one of the issues for a lot of you might be that there's a karmic involved. Okay, karma is definitely going to be triggered. There could also be, so there could be a current person in your life, but there can also be past patterns that were developed in your previous relationships or even your past life relationships. And those are negative patterns that made you feel like you weren't lovable. And so what happens now is you project those fears onto your twin, and you assume that your twin is going to do those same things to you that the other person did. Like, oh my gosh, they hurt me and I don't want to go through that hurt again. So I'm going to avoid getting close to this person. I'm going to avoid communicating with them. I'm going to run away from them because I don't want to get hurt. So this is what's going to be triggered. We also, like, she's reading a letter here too, right? So again, like, look at her body language and she's holding a letter. So it's like, I'm afraid to reach out. I'm afraid to say what I feel because what if I get rejected? What if I get hurt? What if the other person doesn't respond to me? Now okay, so this is one of those examples where it's easy to say, oh, this is all the masculine energy, and it's the masculine that needs to get rid of their karmic and the masculine that needs to reach out. But what I'm seeing in my work with people is that what's coming up is that a lot of the divine feminine have these old karmic situations that are creating blocks. So you may have a person from your past reach out to you, want to connect with you. You may be thinking about a person from your past, not because you want to reach out to them, but it could be your higher self trying to draw your attention to something that's unhealed in you. You know, there could be a choice for some of you. It feels a lot like this energy of what are you going to do? What do you choose? Are you going to choose your twin or not choose your twin? And that's on both sides. So a lot of you, of course, want to choose your twin. So you might have to release something from past relationships or current relationships, whatever the case may be for you, that is creating a block in your union and in moving forward with your union. Something for a lot of people, there's going to be a big shift at the eclipse. I keep getting, there's a tarot deck. I'm not sure if it's the Queen of the Moon Oracle or it's another Moon Oracle, but I keep seeing this card that says a fiery climax approaches, and it may actually be a new moon in Aries card. So yeah, a fiery climax is approaching. And part of that fiery climax might be decisions being made in all different ways, or choices, or, you know, what are you going to choose? I think I mentioned recently maybe in my last video, like, don't go backwards. Like, the fears come up and the fears make the ego say, oh, just stay where you are. Stay with what you know. But that's not what we're meant to do. Okay, Aries is all about going for it, being courageous, standing your ground. And it's also new beginnings, Aries, right? It's the first sign of the zodiac. So don't go back to the old. Don't go back to the old patterns, because you know what? The old pattern was not giving you the love that you wanted, or the person that you had, or the person that you are with now. On some level, They're not giving you the love that you want and deserve. And sure, you know, like if you're with a karmic person, or, you know, we just say a soulmate, whatever, they might be a very nice person, and that might be a comforting relationship. It might be safe for you. But safe is not this. Safe is not passion. Safe is not excitement. Trying to think of, of words that are descriptive, but not too descriptive. Because again, we don't want it to be about just the sexual energy, even though the sexual energy is so strong. But it's about more than that. It's about, because it's this passion that is the creative energy. That's what's important. And without this creative energy, we're not manifesting to our full potential. It's like, this is what brings us the full life that we want, being passionate. So let's see what's happening with the feminine. The oracle, question oracle for the feminine is, how can I make this a truly wonderful day? So what I'm taking from this card is like, how can I be positive? Okay, don't take it as just this one day, but how can I be more positive in this situation? What the feminine is healing is, you are my true love, my heart, and my soul. So what I'm really getting about this is, you know, feminine, you know that your twin is your true love. But what you may not know for sure is that your twin knows that you are their true love. And I feel like the energy that's coming up for the feminine is a test to believe in your heart, to believe in your intuition, and not get caught up in the fears and the insecurities. So watch out for possible tests. Also, what the feminine are healing is engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So for one thing, there's definitely going to be ascension energy. There's going to be codes coming in, especially towards the end of the month. Okay, so you are ascending. And with that, your heart is opening more and you are committing more and more to this relationship. Of course, you know, so many of you are and have been committed to the relationship, but it's like not letting those fears creep in. But there could definitely be triggers that bring up the fear of, does this person really care about me? And if you get that trigger, then go and watch my video, Twin Flame or Unrequited Love. How this is showing up for the feminine is, it amazes me when we say the same things at the same time or finish each other's sentences. This is alignment. There is an alignment happening energetically between twins, and part of that alignment is the energy becomes very, very similar. Okay, when you first meet your twin, you're often polarized. And you have all these kind of opposing energies. You know, you might be opposing beliefs, opposing religions, and you've got all these things that are very difficult to reconcile. But as you heal and clear and grow, all those polarizations begin to dissolve, and you find balance in those polarizations. And yeah, you become more energetically aligned. So that is what has happened. And there may be times where you're giving or receiving these synchronicities of like, you say something that your twin recognizes as like, whoa, I was just thinking about that, and then they said it. Or I was questioning that, and then they said it. Or I wanted to know this about them, and then they posted something that showed me. Especially if you're in separation. Okay, so, well, it can happen, of course, if you're in communication, then it's very easy for that to happen. But even if you're in separation, and your person is watching you or you're watching your person, you're going to get these signs and synchronicities coming through that are showing you that you're coming into alignment. From the romance angels, it's love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So this goes with this, what's positive, you deserve love. Okay, our feminine side of both the DM and DF, right, is loving themselves more. This is important because what is blocking twins right now? I don't feel worthy, or the past hurts, my childhood make me feel like I'm not lovable, and so I'm subconsciously afraid to come forward because I don't want you to reject me, or I don't want you to see the bad things about me. But if we really love ourselves, then we don't need to worry. This is what we need in order to grow enough spiritually to confidently navigate the journey. How this is being transformed. We incarnated together to clear specific patterns from our ancestral bloodlines. So the things that are getting kicked up this month are ancestral family patterns. So the things that happened to you as a kid, and things that happened to us as a kid are often a pattern. Like, my mother treated me like this because that's how my mother was treated by her mother, and that's how she was treated by her mother, and that's how she was treated by her mother. And that's how we get these negative patterns that go through our family. Twin flames are here to break those family patterns, to clear the family patterns, and they can clear it back all these generations. And the purpose of that is so that your own children, or if you don't have children, the other young people in your family don't have to carry the burden of those same issues. They're freed from that burden. And this is why a lot of twins meet when they're married to other people and they have children. And so a lot of people are like, gosh, why did this happen? Why did we meet like this? Well, first of all, the children will be connected to both of you. But also those children wanted to be incarnated because they want to be part of this clearing. And the soulmates that chose to come in with us are also getting their bloodlines cleared, because the children that you have with your soulmate, you know, they're not only clearing the twins' bloodlines, they're clearing the karmic soulmates' bloodlines as well. And so the children play a very important role. But if the children get stuck in the pattern, then that's not helpful to the children, and that's not doing the specific role that they incarnated in order to do. Take that, as a different way, perhaps, to look at the situations that are happening. So, an important time an important time for clearing that ancestral line. And then let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. So another way that the Divine Feminine is shifting this is letting go of control. Okay, so let's take a look at the masculine half. Their question oracle is, what does this person like or appreciate most about me? So one of the things you may be thinking about, which is part of self-love, is, well, what would this person see in me? Some of you may be having, questioning, if this person, was in my life, would they like me? Or what do they like about me? And when we are struggling with believing we're worthy of love, then we wonder, what would people even see in me? So that's the first thing that's coming up for the masculine. I know I need to release attachments with karmic people. I'm creating a plan to leave him or her. So if you guys saw, I posted a message from the masculine about a week ago, and the same card came up. So this goes with this. Release your ex. For some, it won't be an ex just yet. It could be the current person. A lot of times too, the past relationships, there could be something about your fears from previous relationships that are keeping you even with the karmic and making you afraid to leave the karmic. You might be wondering, I'm afraid to leave because, I don't know, what would people see in me? Would I be able to find someone else? All these questions can go through our mind in these types of situations. Again, he's got a paper open here. Although he looks like a calculator. No, it's actually a phone. So I have this man sitting here with a phone and a notebook. So again, writing, communicating. Here, obviously, the card is saying I'm making a plan. But it could also be something to do with this communication. So very much the masculine energy is thinking about breaking free on some level. Again, whatever that is, because this is the masculine in all of us. And for those that are in karmic relationships, I think these are highly focused right now. We have a full moon in Libra. That is relationships and how we relate to people. So we're releasing what doesn't serve us in relationships. And I think what people have to ask themselves when it comes to the soulmate relationships is, how does this person make me feel? Does that person make me feel, like this or like this? And how does my twin make me feel? Like this or like this? Which may change moment to moment, actually. So that's the first thing for the masculine, what they're healing. And then we have romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Okay, so this brings another dimension into it. Because this is saying that the masculine are very much feeling these romantic pulls towards their divine counterpart right now. And they're questioning, should I give this relationship a chance? I would like to give it a chance, but I have perhaps another situation in my life and I'm not sure what to do. So I think what's important to take away from this card is that the masculine are feeling emotions is what I'm getting. So sometimes the masculine can be very good at blocking emotions, but with this eclipse energy and Mars retrograde, emotions are coming to the forefront. I daydream about you. Sometimes it's sexual, other times I visualize our future together. This came up in the last reading that I did. So the masculine is wanting to take this risk. They're dreaming about what could be. What would it be like to actually be together? So yeah, they're very much thinking about that. And that's part of like the emotions and the magnetic attraction. And the romance angels here say this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner that you seek. So this is spirit, I feel, guiding them. We have these little cherubs here to say that they're getting the information that this is the one. But see, when we talked about the feminine, but this goes back to how I started, like why we read the feminine and masculine together and understanding projections, because the masculine is feeling the pull, but maybe they're having doubts. I don't know. Is this the one? It could be the one, but I'm not sure. And guess what? Then the feminine is like, I don't know. Is that the one? Is he the one? I don't know. I say he, but right, it's not gendered. That's why the feminine is saying, what the feminine is healing is, I have no doubt. You are the one, and I'm not doubting it, and you shouldn't doubt it either. And so it's this back and forth that you're helping and energetically connecting to each other and resolving. So as we get triggered, remember I said there could be triggers for the feminine and these doubts. Some of that could be coming from your counterpart who's thinking, is this the one? Should I take this risk? Should I take this leap of faith and try to take this to the next level? And look at this too. This card says engagement, and he's like holding her hand. It reminds me of he's probably just holding her hand, but what it showed me like in that moment was putting a ring on her finger, similar to this card. So it's commitment. And this card is saying, right, our love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Because when we both acknowledge that, yes, you're the one, then we commit fully to the union and our spiritual path as well. How this is transforming for the masculine, I'm triggered, an old pattern has surfaced and it hurts. So again, one and the same energy. I said you're going to get triggered. Both counterparts getting triggered. So something is going to show up for a lot of you at the eclipses or Mercury retrograde. And it could very much have to do with either a karmic soulmate or a past relationship. So think about that as you're going through the triggers. And what is going to be triggered is I'm not feeling loved, or I'm feeling left out. Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Okay, well, how is that? Not only that, but this. We're here to clear ancestral patterns. See, it's like, honestly, guys, I could stop reading masculine and feminine right now and I could just read one, because the energies nowadays, like, they're not polarized, they're aligned, and everyone is going through very similar things in slightly different ways. But I've decided, for now at least, to keep doing it the way I've been doing, just to help people understand how this goes back and forth, and to show that there is no separation anymore. Energetically, there's no separation. It was just 11:11 on the counter as I said that. So we are healing our inner child. We're healing family issues. We're healing the abandonment wound. And we're doing a generational clearing. Okay, what the feminine would say to the masculine. This journey is teaching us one of the most important spiritual lessons: patience. So yes, definitely patience are a major lesson. That's what's involved. But I'm also looking at this image of the mother and the little girl, and it's reminding me of the inner child. Because when it comes to patience, like, that's often triggered by our inner child. That's coming from our woundedness, not wanting to have patience, because it's fear that something is going to miss us or something won't show up for us. But when we know we're worthy of love, we can let that go. When we know we're multidimensional, we know that time is an illusion. As twin flames, we are here to ascend and help others to do the same. So yes, the feminine is saying we are ascending, we are leveling up. And it is, even though I feel the reset is coming through the masculine, what it's doing is it's enabling the masculine to embody more feminine. It's bringing in a better balance, I'll say. I'm going through a dark night of the soul. Nothing in my life is making sense. Again, triggers coming up for both parties. For some of you, you may be in communication with your twin, or your twin may reach out to you, and maybe that could be something that brings up some triggers. But I think what the cards are saying is both counterparts have grown a lot, and there's more of a commitment to following through on the energy. So instead of getting triggered and just running away, which both masculine and feminine have done in the past, there's more of a commitment to stay and work through it, because they're both feeling more healed, more balanced, more grounded, and more able to understand projections and look at themselves. So for the masculine to the feminine, I feel insecure, and it's pushing me to grow. So yeah, a lot of the the feelings of being unworthy, guilt, shame that's coming from our masculine side. There are subconscious fears affecting our ability to attract love and abundance. The universe is helping us make them conscious so we can easily attract what we want, including each other. So yeah, a lot of this stuff is subconscious, and the triggers are there to make them conscious so we can release them and move forward. So that's telling us that the triggers are just bringing up subconscious patterns. And, you know, Pluto's important too, because Pluto's having a quick stint into Aquarius before going retrograde. And I think Pluto's going retrograde during eclipse season. So that could be bringing up some shadow stuff. The last card here from the masculine is we project our patterns onto each other, and this makes it difficult to see what is real and what is fear-based thinking. So a lot of the fears, insecurities, feelings of unworthiness, they're really just coming from inside of ourselves, and that's not really what the other person feels. The song that the feminine wants to give the masculine is Billy Joel, Just the Way You Are. Don't go changing to try and please me. You never let me down before. Don't imagine you're too familiar and I don't see you anymore. I would not leave you in times of trouble. We never could have come this far. I took the good times. I'll take the bad times. I'll take you just the way you are. I said I love you, and that's forever, and this I promise from the heart. I couldn't love you any better. I love you just the way you are. I don't want clever conversations. I never want to work that hard. I just want someone I can talk to. I want you just the way you are. So, you know, that's a sweet message, because the masculine is going through these feelings of unworthiness and feeling unlovable, and the feminine is saying, I love you just the way you are. And I just said that too, right? Was just saying, like, the other person is not going to see you the way you see yourself. You're going to be much harder on yourself than they're going to be on you. So yeah, you are loved. The masculine song for the feminine is Suddenly by Olivia Newton-John and Cliff Richard. Now this is the same card that came up in last month's reading, I think in the same position. Why do I feel so alive when you're near? There's no way any hurt can get through. Longing to spend every moment of the day with you. Suddenly the wheels are in motion and I'm ready to sail any ocean. Suddenly I don't need the answers because I'm ready to take all my chances with you. So this card, I feel, is saying for the masculine, there's going to be a sudden shift and perhaps something unexpected, but it's like this energy of the masculine wants to talk. They want to reach out. They want to connect on a deeper level with you. And some of them are struggling with fears. Some of them may be resisting. But there's going to be a sudden shift in that energy. This could be for the divine feminine too. So when I'm talking about reaching out and stuff, I know that some divine feminine, and maybe, you know, when we get into union and we're not in the separation energy anymore, it can become very confusing who's the feminine and who's the masculine, because you embody both so perfectly. That gets skewed, but so if you are the other counterpart, or you resonate more as this counterpart, I know there's some of you that are getting guided to reach out to your twin. It just depends on everyone's circumstances and where they are in their journey. Okay, so let's look at the future. I gotta clear some space here. So the question for the future is, how can my thoughts influence the direction of this relationship? So Spirit is directing us to what we're thinking in order to change these situations. So the first card is, when I let myself go deeper into thoughts of you, I can feel my heart opening. So I think this card came up in the last reading too. We have to let down our barriers. We have these ego barriers that are blocking up the energy, and it's getting time to let those barriers down. This is clarified with free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Yeah, because we're always, as human beings, always trying to over control things, and our ego wants to control things so that we can get things to work out to our best benefit all the time. But what happens is we end up living our life in a cage, and we often don't even know it. But we restrict ourselves. We put these imaginary limits on ourselves. Like, this unicorn is bigger than this fence that's around him. He could stand up and just leap over this fence, and yet it's almost like he's choosing to stay in that fence. And that's because we're wounded and we're afraid. And so we put those self-limitations on. We don't want to take the risk. But if we would just let our guard down, we would see that it's worth the risk, because the only way to get this love that both twins want, this like limitless, passionate love. And I think if you're a twin, whether you're masculine or feminine energy, you've always had that dream or that knowing that there was going to be someone out there that would bring this kind of passion into your life. And then you get it, and the first thing that you do is you want to run away from it because you're afraid, and you are putting yourself in a box. You're trying to create a sense of safety, and that safety just blocks you from ever getting what you want. So, time to let down the barriers. A fiery climax approaches, right? You gotta free yourself. I want to know everything about you, but I hold myself back from asking because I'm afraid I'll get in too deep. See, this card mentions deep, and this one mentions deep too. It's like we're keeping ourselves too reserved. We're not letting this love come to the surface, this passion that we feel. We're holding it back. And when we hold it back, we're blocking our creative power. We're blocking our alignment. So this type of love is nothing to be ashamed of, and no, it's not imaginary. It really exists. So not holding yourself back anymore. This is clarified with trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith. So you got to take that risk, and you've got to trust in the situation. You've got to trust in your counterpart. Being mirrors for each other makes self-love so important. I wish I was there to love you, but if I'm not, I want you to love and nurture yourself. So what this is telling me is that this is bringing healing. The energy is bringing healing, and we're feeling like, yes, we do deserve love. Yes, that little child inside of me has not done anything wrong. They deserve love. So we're then able to open our hearts and break down the barriers and break down what's been restricting us. honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So then there's forward momentum on this journey. When we do this, then, well, we got this boat, right? So we're traveling, we're going forward. And for some of you, there could be travel too. So if you're twins at a distance, there might be travel, or you might be traveling someplace in April. But this is, oh, what I just heard was next chapter. This is the next chapter. The new beginning. And it's going to be like a honeymoon. Honeymoon period. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have heard that saying. It's a honeymoon period. When you first come back together with your twin, it's going to be that honeymoon period. And it's going to bring this energy. I'm going to say delicious energy. So have trust and faith, and really like work on where you're not loving yourself at this time. So the song message is Our Love by Incubus. Is anybody ever really awake? Just beneath the skin, always reminded, you can only live so long as a fake. Time is wearing thin, let our love begin. I want to push the button, I want to know the others are amended. Picking me up the sound, get your knee off the ground. They can't hold us back forever, 'cause our love's not hiding anymore. Just beneath the skin, always reminded, time is wearing thin, let our love begin. Okay. Again, lots of things coming through in this song. But so first of all, you can only live so long as a fake. Okay? So that's part of the reservedness of living a life that's not passionate, is you're being a fake. You're not being true to yourself. You're staying in your comfort zone because you don't want to feel that insecurity. Time is wearing thin. Let our love begin. Times are changing, okay? We did have some cards here about needing to stay patient, but also some of these cards are also saying that the time of change is very close. Our love is not hiding anymore. So we're not being a fake. When I say being a fake, so yeah, in some cases being a fake is not showing your true feelings to your counterpart. For some of you, being a fake is not telling the person that you're currently with that you're in love with someone else. It's trying to maintain a fake life when you're not happy or in love with the person that you're currently with and you have these feelings for someone else. It's being a fake when you're not living your divine purpose. And for a lot of you, like, your missions are leveling up, and that has to do with coming out in a more authentic way. This is where the change is happening. It's time to be real. So I think I'm just going to pull a Journey of Love card. I haven't pulled one of these in a while. I know this is a really long video, but you can play these videos on double speed if you need to, if you have a short amount of time. So the Journey of Love card is Heart Fire, and it's card number 1. Passion is igniting within you. It is not a time when things will remain still, even if the change is only sensed as a subtle stirring underneath the surface of things. Even if slow at first, passion will unfold from within your heart, soon to be burning bright like a sun, unrestrained. You are learning how to ride waves of passion. Through eruptions of heat and descent into coolness, bearing the absence of fire, only to realize it is returning to you again. Ride its waves, knowing that passionate bliss will always return to a heart that is on fire with love for life. The coolness allows us to experience the heat. Once you realize that the fire emerging from within you will ebb and flow, you will trust its presence. You will realize that whether your passionate fire is obvious, drawing you into life, or dwelling quietly within you, gaining power from the deepest sources of your being, soon to rise once more, it is a constant in your heart. Accept the fire in your heart and know that this is how you are meant to be, on fire with love for all that is. This oracle brings a message for you. Trust the passion and the fire of your heart to guide your decisions now. What would make you feel most alive? Choose that. If you are feeling a lack of genuine passion in your life, take comfort that it is awakening in your own heart now, bringing something that has long been in rest back to life. Life unfolds in wondrous ways, and time together fills the days with unexpected gifts beyond our wildest dreams. Like open hearts as feelings start to face the longing when we part, our souls know this is more than what it seems. In gratitude, I offer a prayer with thanks for this love so rare. Asking guidance on this sweet sojourn, the answers come in tears that flow, emotions raw and smiles that show. Becoming one is worth the wait until I can return. Okay, I think that sums up the reading very well. If you would like a personal reading, you can visit my website, which is Twinstrology, and I will link that below. If you would like to purchase my deck, the Intuit Twin Flame Oracle, I have a link below. If you are in the US, there is a link to get a 10% discount, and I'm sorry if you're international, you can't get the discount right now, but you can order the deck if you are outside the US. You just have to order it on Etsy. And I'll try to link Etsy below as well. So sending you guys all a lot of love. Enjoy this month. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.